FydeOS is an interesting cloud-oriented OS based off of Chrome OS, designed particularly for PCs and laptops, and in this case Raspberry Pis, that are a little bit older and not that powerful. One of its best features is that it has Android app support baked in, making it a very good way to access the huge repository of apps and games on your Raspberry Pi. Hi, this is Phil from Make Tech Easier, and this is how to install FydeOS on a Raspberry Pi. FydeOS is a cloud-driven operating system aimed at the Chinese market. It is based on the cloud computing model of Chromium OS, and since FydeOS is browser-based, it's ideal for devices that don't have a lot of power like the Raspberry Pi. This type of operating system mainly uses cloud apps, so it doesn't tax the device it's running on too much. You'll learn here how to install FydeOS on Raspberry Pi and experience a quick walkthrough of the OS. What you'll need. Before we get started with the installation, you'll need to have the following things: a Raspberry Pi 3B or 3B Plus or Raspberry Pi 4B, a display of some kind, HDMI cable for connecting the Raspberry Pi to the display, a keyboard and mouse, 8GB or larger microSD card reader, a disk image that matches your Raspberry Pi, there are separate images for the Raspberry Pi 3 and 4, a PC, and a Raspberry Pi Imager. This software is compatible with macOS, Windows and Linux. Note that you will also need to have a stable internet connection. You can connect to the internet over Wi-Fi on your Pi or by using the Ethernet port. FydeOS installation on Raspberry Pi. After getting together all the requirements, you can now begin loading the relevant disk image into your microSD card. Connect the microSD card to your computer and open the Raspberry Pi Imager. Select the operating system image that matches up with your Raspberry Pi from the relevant location on your computer, and also select your microSD card. Hit the right button and wait for the process to be completed. After the process has been completed, plug in the microSD card into your Raspberry Pi and boot it up. That's all. It's that easy to install FydeOS on a Raspberry Pi. Running FydeOS on Raspberry Pi. The first boot will probably take a while, so just hang in there. When the device finishes booting up, you can go ahead and take FydeOS for a test drive after completing the initial setup activities like selecting your desired keyboard layout. While the Raspberry Pi won't be as fast as a Chromebook, it will perform well enough. That's not bad for a device that costs around $50. The desktop is bare after the first startup, but you can easily add wallpaper, adjust the bottom panel position, and set the bottom panel to auto-hide by right-clicking the desktop, pretty much like Raspbian. Out of the box, you'll have Chromium, the Chromium Web Store, a file manager, a Chromebook recovery utility, a shortcut to the Pocket website, AirDroid, a camera app, the Settings app, and the Browse by Voice Manager. If you click on the area with the Wi-Fi icon at the bottom right corner of the panel, you'll be able to do things like adjust the Wi-Fi settings, sign out, power off your device, turn Bluetooth on and off, turn notifications on and off, lock your device, adjust your device's volume, and adjust your device's brightness level. So, all the basic settings stuff. Overall, FydeOS is a solid option for a Raspberry Pi that you intend to use for light browsing purposes. Although it won't be as speedy as a proper Chromebook, it will definitely get the job done at much, much lower cost. This is also one of the few existing Chromium forks that's being actively maintained. If you've been thinking of trying out a Chromium OS fork and have a Raspberry Pi 3 or 4 lying around, then FydeOS is definitely worth a shot. Try before you buy. Alternatively, you can check out Gallium OS, a Linux distro that you can install on your Chromebook. Okay, as always, thanks for watching. That's all for now. See you next time.